Klutch Sports, Rich Paul, everybody know Klutch Sports, big time. Shout out to that whole story of like LeBron homie slanging out the trunk, whatever T-shirts or whatever, turned into Rich Paul. And I thought this story was interesting because Stephen A. Smith put on blast Klutch Sports for reaching out to him about all his Bronny criticism, right? And the reason I thought this was interesting is because I'm like, damn, we telling on each other now. Because look, I'll be real, Rich Paul and I have talked many a times, and it wasn't like, hey, Marcellus, take care of this, take care of that. But even if it was, I was like, but that's how you do it. That's relationships, right? We all talk behind the scenes and then they go on camera. But rarely do you break that fourth wall. And this one was broken. So what's the motivation of breaking the fourth wall with the biggest agency in basketball? If you're Stephen A. Smith, what y'all smelling?
Woo, that felt like insecurity and desperation to me, boy.
By who?
From
By
Klutch?
Stephen A. Smith.
From Stephen A.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
is that not from Klutch and LeBron's camp?
Well,
it sounds more insecure
well, no,
from them because
they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're
so is
trying to
Stephen-
protect
so is
their
Stephen A.
player.
though.
Yeah, but they didn't trick on Stephen A.
Stephen
Stephen
A.
A.
didn't do nothing but
tricked on
he just
them.
gave his opinion though.
Well, no,
That's what his job is to
like
give his
Marcellus
opinion.
just
He
said.
gave
His job, Stephen A.'s job is to give his opinion as loud as possible. And that's it. And the fact is that it gives him even more clout that somebody comes through the back door and say, hey man, won't you slow down?
But how about this? This ain't the first time I'm assuming this, but I know for damn sure if I've talked to Rich Paul and the other agents, Stephen A. has talked to Rich Paul before. Why now? Why this? Why say? Why take this conversation public that was held in private?
Let me
Give it to me.
My first thought was Stephen A.'s trying to protect his butt. Because now he's fighting the biggest gun in the industry, LeBron James and Rich Paul. I felt like he was under attack, or he needed to put that out there to protect himself.
But how? Is it preemptive? Because
Yeah,
you're the one that
preemptively.
started the conversation criticizing LeBron. Hey, as a father, you know, relax, LeBron, we get it. He ain't it and all that. So why would you then take it to, I'm going to tell, when you tell me to chill, that's a little too much. Like, do your job, but don't do that. Don't do him in doing your job.
And that's why I'm saying I think he felt like there was something at peril. You know, he's up for a deal. He's up for whatever.
He is up for that deal.
He's up for a deal. And,
He up for that
look,
deal.
you don't. LeBron James shakes so many trees in this
He
industry.
got Michelle Beadle fired. Let me stop. Everybody tell me, everybody like, Mark,
Right,
hey,
you know,
really?
come on now. And
She said it.
And ESPN does a whole lot of coverage on LeBron and Bronny James.
Not much going forward. Not much more going forward.
We do know the deal between LeBron and ESPN, right? The sports media and LeBron. There is a deal there, right? Yeah. We also saw the movie Ali. That's when I first figured out how the media really works, when Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali had a tight relationship behind the scenes, and then they came on the camera and they presented to the world what they wanted the world to perceive them as. I think it's the same thing with LeBron. Right? So again, I think the Stephen A. and LeBron, I think they talk about this stuff. I don't think it's going to shatter the whole relationship, but I think this is more of a play because things are coming up in the future that we don't know about.
I mean, LeBron's protecting his son. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do as a parent. Like, if you have the means to do it in the way LeBron could do it, why would you not? And I feel like Stephen A. Smith, like he does, he has this contract on the rises. He's like ESPN. Hey, look who's contacted me. Y'all need me. Y'all better make sure y'all come with these negotiations. Look who's contacted me.
Like I said, that's a
everything.
conversation
I know
LeBron and
everybody.
Stephen A. had behind the scenes, and I'm going to present this like I'm really that powerful of a sports reporter.
That's too much puppeteering now.
It ain't that much puppet master going on here. I do believe that Stephen A. I think it's ego on both sides. I think with Stephen A., the way he looks at it as I'm going to use this as leverage just to keep showing how big of an analyst or how much power I got. I'm putting these conversations out there because I'm trying to get my money. On the flip side of that, I think on the Klutch side, the only reason why they even come to him is because he struck a chord. You know, as you always say, a hit dog hollers.
Yeah.
That last game where Bronny was playing, he was looking bad.
Yeah,
and I think at that point, it was so clear that you're not ready.
Yeah.
So then when everybody sees it, and now the biggest voice, arguably in sports, gets on and starts calling it out.
Echoes it.
It just makes that whole brand It exposes the brand.
Okay, all right, let's walk through this because so far I think we're all in unison. Klutch and LeBron is like, I'm a dad, talking about my son, the whole world saw it, you ain't gotta go over there and put gas on that, right? But then, whether it's Rich Paul or somebody in the agency you talking to, okay, oh, yeah, that was too much? Okay, cool. You usually hang up that phone and then anonymous sources. You usually hang up that phone and you say, well, people out there are saying I should not talk about LeBron. When do you put, like, Klutch Sports on blast like that? To me, that almost seems like, I gotta show you something.
I'm Stephen A. You can't control me.
But what about all the time that you haven't put them on blast and been talking good or bad about them? Is that called control, or is that just how the game is played?
But we don't know what was said. They might have struck a chord with Stephen A. too. They might have.
Look, motherfucker.
They might have. I know I'm serious.
Hey,
They might have been like, hey, enough is a fucking enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut, but you know they might have struck a chord and they might have tried to put it down on Stephen A. And Stephen A. like.
You better recognize.
I don't know Stephen A. but from what I see,
Yeah.
Stephen A. he gonna blow that. He gonna blow that up. If somebody try to quiet him up or try to put him in his place.
Oh wow.
Just like you guys said, Luka's not going to change because he's been in the business for so long. Stephen A. is not going to fucking change. They planned this. Like, I'm with you, Hatch, because there's no way he's going to do something that's going to.
But how does planning it help Bronny?
It's the,
There's like it
you
serves.
want to know how? Because in the next 5 years, when Bronny is still in the NBA, now I can still get positive publicity because he can't get it from nowhere else.
How do you get positive publicity in 5 years from clowning him right now? What do you mean?
Because he'll still be in the league. And now, because again, right now everybody's talking about him.
Yeah.
Right? So again, in 2 years he'll be a little bit better. In 3 years he'll be a little bit better. And they'll make him relevant by talking about him.
Better than what?
I mean,
DP,
he gonna have a shot.
you hit on exactly what I was saying. I think it was a self-preservation move for Stephen A. Because maybe they said, hey, we're gonna hit you with X, Y, Z. And he had to expose that so he doesn't get hit with X, Y, and Z. They may have been like, look, I'm about to call Jimmy. On the next phone, my next phone call is gonna be to Jimmy. And he's gonna be the one to tell you no Bronny talk. You know what I'm saying? And I think Stephen A. is trying to preserve himself because he feels the might and the force of Klutch and LeBron. And he's trying to expose that. That'd be like if I knew you were after me and I made a video and said, if something happens to me, look at Marcellus.
Ah, okay. I get you. That's get some coordinates, huh?
Indirect
coordinates.
To Hatch.
Yeah, I smell that.
How much longer do you think LeBron got in the league?
Hopefully next year he'll be.
So you got
done.
2 years at max.
This
what
year
you're
and
saying?
next year, yes.
How long is Bronny's contract? Do you know?
No, but he'll play the next 5 to 7 years.
He got. I think it's 3 with a.
He'll play the next
extra
5
1
to
year
7
option.
years.
So he got. We're gonna say 4 for Bronny. So you think that they're planning this? Because we can be clear, Bronny will not be in the league 5 years from now. The moment LeBron is out, when that contract is up, he's out of here.
Wow.
He'll still be in the league.
In the league at that point in time, his name is Bryce.
Right. He might.
The young James will be in the league, but guess what?
I'm not hitting reset on this again yet.
Bronny's
I
outta
don't know
here.
about Bryce.
He gonna get his 4 years just off the strength of management and all of that. They're gonna make the money off of him off his jersey
Well,
sales.
who do you think's in
3 years from
control
now, he's
4
not
years
still
from now?
putting
It's
people
still
in the
going to be
seats.
LeBron's got his old teammates and his buddies that he played with. They're still going to leave a spot for him, let him be the 12th man on the bench.
Rich Paul still
Who's
gonna have
doing
all
that?
his connections too.
Chris Paul about to be out of here too. He
But
on his last leg.
I agree
Klutch
with
you
you.
said Rich- you said
Klutch
Rich
will
I do
still
agree
run
with
the
you.
NBA in 5 years. If Klutch is running the NBA,
when
that
LeBron's
means
out,
Klutch is running the
I know,
sports.
but
though.
when LeBron's out, his power is going to drop a little bit.
They still represent all the coaches. They'll represent all the general managers, and they'll represent all the players. So
Rich
we're
has a
gonna
lot
find
of
a
that
spot for
power
him.
because LeBron is there. The moment LeBron is there, and we just saw with the Lakers trade, we're slowly about to see the end of that reign.
Bronny won't be with the Lakers, but
So
he'll be on the
when
NBA
he's out of here,
roster.
that power is going to shift.